How's it going, everyone? And welcome to the tutorial for the ribbon bounce and its other indicators. We'll do this with different videos to explain the different strategies that you can use with the ribbons. Now, I created the ribbons to help give traders a more quality trades versus people who are always using a lot of the moving averages for like 9 moving average, 10, 12 moving average, 20 moving average, 50 moving average. So I created these bands, which are moving averages, for high potential areas of where the market may bounce, creating more quality trades. Okay. So like right here, you could see where it bounced, got it. So you can go in and get a 1 minute trade or a 5 minute trade. So now it came down here, if you would have did a bounce and put in a trade, you would have lost. But come down here, bounced, put in a trade for going up for 1 or 5 minutes and you'd win. And that's basically how the ribbon bounce works is you're looking for these quality areas where the candles are bouncing off the lines. Now, green doesn't mean buy, red doesn't mean sell, and white doesn't mean neutral. Okay, these are just extremes. This is the low extreme where we catch a lot of our bounces. Medium extreme where the market's really testing how far can we push this down. All right, and then you have the extreme. All right, and if candles are pushing through that, you kind of want to just not take any trades at the time being. You want to kind of wait until you have some good clear movement. Okay, and we'll back up a little so you can see the good clear movement of uptrends. Okay, and I like using the linear regression line that I had created with this. Linear regression line is basically taking in effect the price action and the time frames and giving kind of where that line needs to be going, okay? Versus just a regular moving average like everybody's familiar with. So it's working off of different information than these. Now, so when these start crossing like this, you want to stay out of any trade. Do not take any trades when the white one is crossing into things, okay? We avoid all trading. Now, if you're a long trader, right in here where it came crossed, retest it, it's above the lines, you go in, do some long trading. If you're that kind of trader. Let me turn this so I can drag along here. I'll turn that off. Okay. So like it came up, if you were doing long trading, institutional trading, you get the idea what you would be doing here. Okay. And then same for vice versa here, where it came down, came back up. Right in here, if you wanted to, you could see where it's just not going anywhere. It's consolidating. Okay, but you could, once you get in, and you can consider this to be a retest. And if you put your trade in and you rid the whole thing up, or if you just wanted to wait until you got here and you seen a true retest, you get in and you ride it up until you decide to get out. That's completely up to you, depending on how you like to set your stop losses up. Like you could have got in and then got out here, got in, got out in here maybe, and I got in, got out in here. So it really, when it comes to institutional trading, you have your own choices on how you want to do that. But for most binary option traders, they're not going to be doing something like that. They're going to be taking like a 1 minute trade, 5 minute trade, 10 minute trade. Most stick to 1 or 5 minutes. But you're looking for good, clear movement for the binary options trading, which is mainly what this was designed to help for. So again, as a binary option trader, you wait for it to come down. If you would have did a 5 minute, because I do 5 minute trades the majority of the time, we'll zoom in on that. Say you got that bounce and got my trade in just before it closes. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you would have won. If you took a 1 minute, you would have lost. But if you noticed, hey, there's another bounce that's coming up, you could possibly get your trade in. That's where the linear regression line will come in handy to be able to spot that. Came back down, bounced, get your trade in 1 minute, just before 1 second before it closes, you would have won. We wait for another bounce. And that's where having some of the fast lines I have, fast and slow lines, will help with this section. But for right now, we're just going off of the straight ribbons that I have provided. But we'll go ahead and we will back up pretty far and we'll just walk through the process. This way you can see bad areas. And I'm going to keep the videos probably around about a half hour long. Okay. Yeah, that's more than an hour. So we'll go ahead and back up a little. All right. And we will start. Did it? Okay. Yeah, we will start. Let's pretend we hopped in the market here. Okay. Now it's still kind of early to really figure things out right now. As you can see, it's real choppy. It is on a downtrend, but it's choppy. Okay. All right. So without any extra information, it's best just to stay out of anything right here until we got good clear movement of something like this, because this is pretty small. So if you're not an advanced trader, you would want to stay out of any trades for right now. All right. And then we come up, we come down because this is good clear movement. It bounces off the candles. You get your trade in just before it closes for 1 minute up. And you would have been a winner. So 1, 2, 3, 4. As a 5 minute trade, that would have been a loser. As you can see, it came back down. So we are obviously just trading sideways here with these so close together, so small, nothing really spread out. You wouldn't want to, if you lost here, you would just want to stay out of any trades until you get good clear movement again. Okay. Now, because this came past the white line, even though there's a rejection there, we don't take it. It's too small of a candle. And again, we stay out of this and come down. Now, this is a good one where you get in, it got rejected above the white line. So get in for 1 minute going up, you would win. 5 minute, you would have won. We wait for it to come back. Got rejected at the white line. Take your trade just before it closes. 1 minute or 5 minute, you would have won. Right here, if you waited, if you decided to take that, you would have lost on 1 minute, but failed or won on a 5 minute. So, and then with the linear regression, you might be able to recover that loss real quick there. When we come up, it's coming down. So this is where things get a little choppy. It got rejected. So as a more advanced person, you could wait for that and then get your trade going down for 1 minute or 5 minutes, and you would have won. But that's more for advanced. For beginners, I want you looking for good, clear patterns like this, where it's in an uptrend on these three bands. They're spread apart pretty good, and it's good, clear movement. You want to avoid anything that's looking sideways until you get more advanced at catching trades. So right here, we got good, clear movement going up. So once we see it's been trying to go up, it just kind of like was retesting this area. You can get in right here, maybe you would have lost. For 5 minutes, you would have won. Or if you decided, there's not enough, you could take that loss, wait for it to come back down. And then you got your rejection for 1 minute going up, you would have won. 5 minutes, you would have won. We're waiting for the retest. Bam. Got rejected with that one candle. Just before that candle closes, you put your trade in for 1 or 5 minutes. You would have won on 1 or 5 minutes. Now here, It came down, there was a reject. It's debatable if you should take that check or that chance. As a more advanced trader, you can possibly take it, but um, I would avoid it just on the safe side because it could just bounce right there and come back down. So I would not take that trade. And then once you see everything's getting small, there's not much movement here, you'd wait till we got good clear movement again. And again, like I said, when these ribbons start crossing each other, you don't want to take any trades. You avoid the area. All right, we got some up here, good downtrend moving going. White's already across. So you wait for the retest. Boom. If you got in right here for 1 minute, you would have lost. Well, looks like yeah, you would have lost. All right. But on a 5 minute, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would have lost. So then we need some good, clear information. And with the linear regression, you would have helped spot this could be a bad area. And then once it crossed over, you could go in for your 1 minute trade going down or 5 minute trade going down. To give you an idea in regards to linear regression, I didn't really want to show it to you just yet, but it's probably best since I keep bringing it up. So we'll go ahead and go. So you see right in here, since the candles didn't come below the linear regression, we know it's still trying to work its way up. Okay. And then right here is where you got a good clear movement going down. So you could be looking to get your trade. Okay. Now right here, we had a bounce right there. So you can do 1 minute trade going down or a 5 minute win. But again, this section is more advanced because it crossed over the white ribbon. As a beginner, I recommend you stay out of this section. Okay. So now as a beginner, we come back up. If you wait for the retest, oh, that's right, because you're going to stay out of this. But as advanced, that could have been getting a good spot in. So as a beginner, it's crossed over, it's come back down. All three bands are here and it got rejected. So that's a pretty good sign that it's going to go up. And so you get your trade in 1 minute, or not 1 minute, sorry, 1 second before it closes. On a 1 minute, you would have won. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On a 5 minute, you would have won. All right, as it comes back down, got tested again, got rejected. So 1 minute, or I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying 1 minute for things. 1 second before this candle closes, you put your trade in for 1 or 5 minutes, and you would have won on either one. Now it's coming back down. If you thought you could get away with a retest on that, you still would have won, including on a 5 minute. All right, but I would have been on this one here for as a bounce. For 1 minute, you would have won. 5 minute, you would have lost. So now we're waiting for some retesting. The lines of crossing. If you're good enough to figure this one out, you could wait until it crosses the linear regression because you can see it's getting rejected up here. So 1 minute down or 5 minute, you would have won. Now up in here is where we're getting rejected again. So 1 minute, 5 minute. But again, as a newbie, I recommend you stay out of all trades where the candles are in between the lines. You want something where it's like this. So right here we came down. We're waiting for the rejection up at the top where it actually touches the ribbon somewhat, which is right there. Got rejected, crossed the linear rejection. 1 minute going down or 5 minute, and you would have won. Now, once you get back into this is getting into the choppy land. You want to avoid this area as a new person. Okay, everything's too small. We're crossing. What we're seeing here is actually a squeeze. And then finally it breaks out. All right. Now we don't have we have good movement going up, But we don't have any clear movement going down until here. So that's clear movement going down. So you got your bounce off the ribbon there. 1 minute going up or 5 minutes. Waiting for some good clear movement. Right here, if you would have took a trade, because that is a bounce, you would have lost on 1 minute and 5 minute. Like you're not going to win every trade. Okay. This is a numbers game, and I set my trade manager for 10 chances to get it right twice. So that allows me to get it wrong 8 times. Okay. And I have to get 2 right out of 10 chances. Now, so that really allows you to spread out your wins and your losses. And there's a trade manager for that that I can use and I'll recommend to you. And it'll be on the website. There'll be a page dedicated to that as well. All right. And I'll have a YouTube video in regards to it as to help out. So right now, come down as an advanced trader. It bounced, so you can get your trade in for 1 or 5 minutes. But as a beginner, you wouldn't want to take any trades until you get more familiar with different things in the market. Right here, you would avoid no, there's clear movement going up. But if you're just looking for a bounce only, there's nothing here to really say that, hey, this was a rejection. All we know is there is some small movement going up. Let's see. We got this, nothing, 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 nothing. It's not really coming down to the line on this one. So this kind of sucks when you're in these areas if you're just going off rejections of the ribbons. And again, you stay out of this as a new person. But as a more advanced, you would come in, reject it, one up, get one trade in for 1 minute, 5 minute you would have lost. Reject here again. It's still in the lines, so you may want to stay out of this one because it's clear we're on a downtrend for what it's showing at the time. And we got to remember, everything from here over isn't there, so we can't really tell you what the market's doing. So you would just leave it alone, and that's why I tell you to avoid this stuff because you can't see all this. If you're right here where the candle's moving, none of this has appeared yet. So you're waiting for good movements. All right. And that's why it's nice to have multiple screens with different charts so you can find trades easier that are more clear moving like this, you know. So you could find something like right there. y- just to make things a little easier on different charts. So now you're not chasing trades, you're just watching different charts, waiting for the trades to come to you, which is a safer bet than chasing trades because at some point you're going to be, if you're having a bad day, you're going to start looking for trades in areas that aren't where there's no trade for what you're thinking for if you're thinking up and it goes down. Okay. But that is the main basic format for the ribbon bounce. Okay, so remember, this does not mean buy, this does not mean sell, and this is just a regular white moving averages. Now, to give you, this is the extreme, medium extreme, low extreme. All right, and these areas are key areas of where you can expect rejection areas for the candles. Okay, now let's see here. Let me double check and make sure. Now, one thing I have here real quick to make if regular candles aren't your thing and I'm using regular candles right now because I know a lot of binary option traders prefer this because they like to take that 1 minute trade. All right, but I do have some scalping candles. They're just Hakanashi candles, nothing fancy. Okay. And that'll come in with the package as well. And the names of them will be a little bit different too, so they're easier for you to know what they are. Now, me, I like to make mine a little bit bigger. And one of the things about MetaTrader 4 is you could set this up and it doesn't always work right. Mm, It worked first time on that one. So this can help you with spotting your 5-minute trades on bouncing areas. Okay. And your rejection areas. Makes life a little bit easier for you. And as long as you're being conservative in your trading, you should never have to get 8 losses. The majority of times on a bad day for me, with the information I know and trade on and stuff like that, I normally never go past 6 trades. A lot of times I can get my 2 trades in within 5 chances. You know, I think the worst of the worst is it may take me 7 or 8, and that's because I'm I get frustrated or I'm rushing and I'm looking for a trade in an area that's not there. When really I should have just been patient and let a good, honest trade come through. So sometimes and when I have those bad days like that, which is once in a blue moon, I will sit for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes waiting for the perfect trade to come through where all the information says that's what this is doing, just so I don't have to keep risking my capital. It's better to sit and wait for the perfect trade if you've made it to the area where you're gonna potentially lose your capital. And that's one of the reasons why I'm real big about 10 chances to get it right twice with the trade manager that I use. Now, another thing I do is 10 chances to get it right once, where I triple my bet each time. All right. But if you can mess up sometimes on that, trying to keep track of your bets or putting the wrong bet in and stuff like that. So you just got to be careful. But you should always walk away profitable. Okay. If you're not walking away profitable, you probably did something wrong. Okay, and one of again, like let me talk about. I use MetaTrader 4. I'm not a big fan of MetaTrader 4. I like NinjaTrader 8. It is a superior software to trade with or to chart with. Okay, just it's like when you're using MetaTrader 4 and you switch over to NinjaTrader 8, it's like coming out of the mountain after many, many years and exploring the new world that you haven't seen for so long and realizing what new is available to you versus this because this messes up. Like if I was to save this as a template, when I come back and reload it, these candles won't be the same. If I had changed any kind of particular settings on anything, like here, we'll put this here. We'll do this one here. Now I like to make these big. Okay. So if I was to save this template, and this can help you as well when you're trading like this, for taking 5-minute trades. You can use it for 1 minute as well, but for me, it's more of a 5-minute trade system. All right. But if I was to save this and all these candle sizes as a template, when I come back, everything's going to be put back to default settings. So I would always have to, so if I change the colors, like if the match with the chart, like red candles or red candles will be red candles, green candles would be blue candles for a Spider-Man look. And same with these, changing the color, this to blue. When I come back to it after saving it for a template, everything's put back to default settings. And that's just one of those things with the coding and all that, that why NinjaTrader 8 is superior. And in the future, I am going to work on creating each of these indicators, all right, for NinjaTrader 8, and then try to get people to just get away from MetaTrader and start using NinjaTrader 8. Now, NinjaTrader 8 is free for charting, all right, but you have to pay for data, or you sign up with a trading exchange like forex.com, put a little money in there. You don't have to put much. I put $100 into the account, and then you can use the data from that website on NinjaTrader 8. So there are ways to be able to use it so you can make trades, as and just use it as a charting system, like we're doing here. Now I am working with a guy, but it's down the road where uh, we can add OTC charts to NinjaTrader 8. Okay. I also have him working on, well, for adding our own here, because right now I only know of one other person that provides the option to be able to add OTC charts to MetaTrader 4. And you got to pay him monthly or a yearly subscription, however you do it, 6 month subscription. So you constantly got to pay. I'm looking to just create a indicator thing or system that we can just add to our MetaTrader or NinjaTrader 8 and never have to pay someone again. Okay. So if you have OTC charts that you like to trade on for pocket options, IQ options, and like two or three others, I won't do too many because I don't know about them all. And I don't want people to get mad saying, well, this website scammed me out of money. So if I do it, it would only be for pocket options and IQ options. So that's something to expect. Now I do have somewhat of a software or indicators, kinda. It's not indicator, but we add it to the chart and it'll allow us to take this chart outside of the window and add it to a different screen. Okay, I'll give you an idea of that. Let's see. It's been a while since I believe it's this one. Yeah, I'll have to show you another time. Okay. But you just got a basic overview of how the ribbons work and the linear regression. And you can use this here as well to help you make smart decisions. Okay. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for watching.